The wind howled across the endless plain of the Lüneburger Heide, carrying the scent of pine and distant rain. In the year 1878, this stretch of northern Germany, wild, untamed heathland dotted with ancient burial mounds and twisted juniper, was as close to frontier as Europe could muster. No prairies, no Rockies, but the same lawless edge where men made their own rules. Jakob, Schattenhand, Keller rode in on a weary Hanoverian gelding, coat dusty from weeks on the road. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with eyes the color of storm clouds and a scar that ran from temple to jaw like a lightning strike. People called him Schattenhand because in a fight his left fist moved like shadow, fast, silent, shuddering. He had come from America 5 years earlier, after too many graves and too few answers. The Wild West had chewed him up and spat him out. Now he drifted Europe's backroads, taking jobs no one else wanted. He stopped at the edge of a small settlement called Heidekrug. A cluster of timber houses, blacksmith's forge, an inn with a faded sign showing a black boar. Smoke rose thin against the grey sky. A crowd had gathered in the muddy square, farmers, chef-herds, a few soldiers home on leave. They parted as he dismounted. In the center stood a man in black leather, silver spurs glinting. Viktor von Stahl, the self-proclaimed Baron of the Heath. Tall, blond, with a mustache waxed to points and eyes cold as Baltic ice. He owned half the land here, claimed the rest through forged papers and fear. Today he had come to collect. A young shepherd named Elias had refused to pay the new protection fee. Viktor's men had dragged Elias out, bound his hands, and now the Baron held a whip. "You think the law protects you?" Viktor sneered, cracking the whip. "The law is in Hanover, 2 days, right? Here, I am the law." Elias, barely 20, spat blood. "My father died for this land. You'll not take it." Viktor raised the whip again. Schattenhand stepped forward. His voice was low. "Calm. Enough." The crowd hushed. Viktor turned, sizing him up. "Who the hell are you?" "Passing through, Jakob said. Don't like seeing a boy whipped for owning what's his." Viktor laughed. "A drifter with opinions. Right on, stranger, before I add your height to my collection." Jakob's hand rested near his coat pocket, where an old Colt peacemaker sat heavy. He had brought it back from America, illegal here, but useful. "Let him go. Walk away." Viktor's men, 4 hard-eyed riders, spread out, hands on saber hilts. The Baron smiled thinly. "You think you can challenge me? In my town?" "Not your town, Jakob said. Not anymore." The first man lunged. Jakob sidestepped, caught the wrist, twisted. Bone snapped like dry wood. The man screamed. Another drew steel. Jakob's fist met jaw, dropping him cold. The third hesitated. Jakob drew the Colt in one fluid motion, hammer clicking back. Viktor started. "You bring a gun to a knife fight? Old habit." The Baron signaled. His remaining men backed off. "This isn't over, drifter." Jakob hoisted. "It is for today." He cut Elias free. The boy rubbed his wrists, eyes wide. "Why help me?" "Because someone helped me once," Jakob said. "Long time ago. In a place far from here." Word spread fast. By nightfall, the inn was full. Farmers bought Jakob beer he barely touched. They spoke in hushed tones of Viktor's grip, how he burned barns of those who resisted, how his tucks left families starving. Elias' sister, Lena, brought bread and stew. She was small, fierce-eyed, hair the color of ripe wheat. She looked at Jakob like he was something dangerous and necessary. "You can't stay," she said quietly. "He'll come for you." "I know." "Then why not ride out?" Jakob stared into the fire. "Because some things follow you no matter how far you run." That night he slept in the stable, Colt under his saddlebag. Dawn brought riders 8 this time, led by Viktor himself. They circled the settlement like wolves. Viktor shouted from horseback. "Schattenhand! Come out! Or we burn every house until you do." Jakob stepped into the square. No coat now, just shirt, vest, the gun low on his hip. The crowd watched from doorways. Viktor dismounted. "You think you're a hero? This is Germany, not your savage America. Here we settle things like gentlemen." Jakob almost smiled. "Gentlemen don't burn homes." Viktor drew a dueling pistol. "Then we duel. 1 shot each. If I win, the land is mine. If you win." He shrugged. "You won't." The crowd murmured. A duel, formal, almost civilized. But everyone knew Viktor's reputation with a pistol. They paced off 20 steps in the mud. Turned. The morning light was harsh, shadows long. Viktor fired first. The crack echoed. Jakob felt the ball tug his sleeve, burning skin. He didn't flinch. Raised his Colt slow, deliberate. The shot was clean. Viktor staggered, hand to chest, surprise in his eyes. He fell to his knees, then face first into the dirt. Silence. The riders stared. One reached for his saber. Jakob's voice cut through. "Right away. Or join him." "They rode." The crowd erupted. Cheers, tears, hands clapping Jakob's back. Elias embraced him like a brother. Lena stood apart, eyes shining. But Jakob felt no triumph. Only the old emptiness. He mounted that afternoon. The gelding stamped, ready. Lena approached. "Stay. We need men like you." He looked at the heath, white, empty, beautiful in its harsh way. "I bring trouble. Always have." "Then let it find you here," she said. "For once." He hesitated. Thought of the graves in Arizona, the friends lost, the promises broken. Thought of Winnetou, the Apache brother he had never truly had, only read about in cheap books as a boy in Hamburg. Honor. Loyalty. A code that survived even when the land didn't. He swung down. "I'll stay a while," he said. "See if trouble comes." She smiled a small, real. Weeks turned to months. Jakob worked the land with Elias, rebuilt what Viktor burnt. The heath bloomed under care. He taught the boys to shoot straight, the girls to ride fast. Nights he sat by the fire with Lena, speaking little, listening much. Trouble came, of course. Viktor's cousin arrived from Berlin with lawyers and soldiers. But the people of Heidekrug stood together now. They had seen Schattenhand bleed for them. They would bleed for him. The final stand happened at Silver Lake, a small pond ringed by birch. 20 armed men against the settlement's 40. Jakob walked out alone. "No more blood," he called. "Take your papers and go." The cousin laughed. "You think one man stops an empire?" Jakob drew. One man started it. The fight was short, brutal. Jakob moved like shadow again, fists, gun, will. When the smoke cleared, the cousin lay wounded, his men scattered. The soldiers took him away in chains. After, Jakob stood at the lake edge. Lena joined him. "You could have killed them all," she said. "Didn't need to." She took his hand. Scarred, calloused, steady. The heath wind blew soft now, carrying spring. Jakob looked west, toward the horizon where the sun bled red. Somewhere beyond lay America, the old life. But here was something new, roots in foreign soil, a place to stand. He squeezed her hand. "Guess I'm not drifting anymore." She leaned against him. "Welcome home, Schattenhand." The sun set slow over the Lüneburger Heide. In the distance, a wolf howled wild, free, alive. And for the first time in years, Jakob Keller felt the same.